Set up the board real quick. We live. Hey, Shalom, beloved Akiyam and Akwa. Hey, first and foremost, we would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, where we learned this 144% truth. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, starting with the 144,000 men of Israel, which consists of the servants, the prophets, whom have been ordained since the foundations of this earth to sing this new song, which comes in the form of this gospel, which will be preached throughout all four corners of this earth and rest upon the ears of the innumerable multitude, men, women, and children of Israel, who may be scattered throughout all four corners of this earth. Shalom.
Shalom.
Hey, shalom, beloved Akiyam and Akwak, and we back out here once again. All right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. All right, to bring forth this good news, this gospel to those of the hopeful elect, and condemnation to 2/3 of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans of our nation. All right, that continue to rebel and refuse to repent. Condemnation to you heathen, starting with Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, and the rest of you heathen. All right, and condemnation to Babylon the Great, which is America. All right, we're in a time where the end of all things has come. And ultimately what we're witnessing is the downfall of an empire, man. All right, everything is going left for Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, in the form of the modern day Pharaoh, which is Trump, which ultimately he's just a puppet, okay, of the elite being told what to do. All right, as you can see, all right, the market is crashing, the stock market is crashing, and you have those of the, Joe Sixpack of the society thinking that it's Trump that's causing this to happen. No, this is set up by design. All right, they're trying to bring forth a new revolution. You see, they're trying to bring forth that fourth industrial revolution. They're switching gears, man. All right, everything is going digital. All right, you people are gonna be wiggling around in 15-minute cities with nothing but being happy though. Like this nigga Klaus Schwab said, you should own nothing and be happy. They're gonna have full control over you. You're gonna be walking around with a device in your body. All right, this is what they're trying to bring forth. Trump is just a face, okay, of the will of the elite. He's not doing anything outside of the realm of what they want him to do. You see, and ultimately, all right, the market's crashing. Okay, this man called himself threatening Iran over the last weekend. Okay, and he threatened them with destruction that has never been seen before. This is what he said, quote. All right, and what happened this past week? You have Gulf states like Saudi Arabia, the UAE, okay, and the like, telling America that you cannot use our airports, our landing ports, to do anything towards Iran. Okay, we have articles on this, man. Through the Spirit, Lord willing, we can bring them out. But this just goes to show you that the Lord is making Esau, Edom, small. A matter of fact, can we grab that, Malak? Obadiah 1 and 2? Can we start with that real quick and then get it in the blue letter, though? Because you're going to want to get that word small. Okay? Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai is doing exactly what he said he would do. In the latter days, all right, Esau will be exposed. All right, his thigh will be shown. That skirt will be lifted. And ultimately, he's going to be found out. He's a complete loser. All right, and this place is a fucking dump, by the way. America's a dump. For those of you out, you know what I'm saying? For those of you out there looking in from the outside, from these other countries, you may tap into these videos. You may catch this video through the Spirit. Hey, this place is a dump. All right, which means what? If you're over in England or London, this place is rubbish. Because I know they use that word out there. This place is rubbish, man. There ain't nothing good. Hey, if y'all brothers got something that can add to there being anything otherwise, let me know. I want to try it. And I'm being facetious when I say that. This place is trash, man. Okay, and we know that this place is the springboard to the earth. Like everything that happens in America, every other heathen wants to be like this place. As a matter of fact, the United Arab Emirates, I was looking into them right through the Spirit. The Spirit led me to one of their global plans is for them to actually make it to Mars by 2117. Why do the heathen rage?
Right.
And the people imagine the main thing. You fucking heathen are out of your mind. And excuse my French. You're not going to Mars. You heathen are subjugated to the earth. The only ones that are going to be able to leave this place are the Israelites, man. Okay? In the eon to come. Starting with the elect. That's it.
Anybody that followed Esau always found themselves in some shit.
Right? Real talk. You know? Hey, that's part of that birthright. Being able to leave the earth and go from and go to different mansions of the Lord. That's the birthright. You gotta have the birthright to be able to do that. And
that's part of the promises of the heirs.
That's right, Malak. That's it. Point blank, period.
You know, the Lord created everything. And to be an heir of it, it means that
it's owed unto you.
It means that you get a portion.
Yup.
You know, you get a lot.
That's right.
You know, and one of the lots is to, you know, the Lord is going to share what, it's like you're telling your son, what's mine is yours.
That's right, brother.
You know? And that's what these wacky-tacky Christians and these other heathens don't understand, man.
Right.
You know?
And that's what Esau's going to find out. Nigga, you are not the heir to the throne. Okay? You are not joint heirs, to the throne. You see? You are diabolical. You're our diabolical brother.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you're gonna be stopped. Right. Get that, brother?
Obadiah chapter 1 verse 1. The vision of Obadiah, thus said the Lord Yahweh Bashar concerning
you got it, brother.
We have heard a rumor from the Lord Yahweh Bashar, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised.
You see that? And thou art greatly despised. And you seeing that right now, man. You know? You over here sending threats. You got tariff battles with multiple countries. Okay? This place is a shitstorm
They're
right now.
They're allies, if I may add, probably.
This place is a complete shitstorm right now, you know? You got them talking about, you know, that they don't want to NATO. They don't need NATO, you know? Hey, what Trump is doing is fulfilling prophecy of this great whore being hated and destroyed, man. You know? And that's how the Lord said you are made small among the heathen. Get
right.
that word small?
Right, and that's what we want to hone in on. We want to hone in on this word small. Because not only to back the brother up with them being despised, because that's what it shows with these Gulf states refusing to let them occupy any of their landing space.
Right.
But it's a reason for it. Because this is unheard of. Because we got to remember, right? Go ahead, brother. You got it, Malak.
Yeah, you're right. You read my mind. Hey, back in the days, they would have never, ever said no to the United States of America. Right? They would have been kissing ass, man, licking boots. Right? Ready to open up all ports, whatever you need, sir. Right? But how is the hammer of the earth cut asunder, man?
That's it.
You know?
That's right. Malak, actually, can we precept that with that? Babak Bashar? Go ahead, brother.
It's the word for small.
That's a beautiful people.
In the Hebrew, it's quatar. And it means...
Hold on, brother.
Yeah.
It's like Gotham City out here, guys.
Yeah.
Batman and Robin. Yeah. You got it, brother.
The word for small...
Hey, I ain't gonna hold you though. The elder Yashurama said that yesterday too in Texas. He slayed me. Yeah, he slayed me, bro. But go ahead, brother. You got it.
This word for small is Strong's H6996. In the Hebrew, it's quatar.
Yep.
And it means small, insignificant.
See that insignificant?
There's one more.
And unimportant.
That's unimportant. Esau is no longer a threat.
Right.
He's no longer a threat.
Which means what? Your economy is going down, and the nation smell it, man.
Right. And remember, he came up against us last time. And look at him now. You remember?
Yeah.
Looking crazy as a mug. He came up against us last time, y'all. He stood here for a moment, and he looked more sane than he do now. He looked more sane when he came up to us talking crazy last time. Now he's finished, as you can see.
But man,
you got it, brother.
You know that money system is crashing. The BRICS nation is going to rise. You know, and the you know, these tariff wars. They smell the end of this empire. It's going to mark 250 years, and every nation knows the history of every kingdom.
That's right.
And they're like, you know what? This whore got juiced up. She's losing her power. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's no longer plugged in,
Right.
which she's no longer the source,
That's right.
right? And they're turning their back on her like, yeah, whatever, man.
Right.
You know, hey, you no longer the bully of the earth.
That's right.
You
This
know?
place is drying up.
Right.
It's drying out. The whore, which was once voluptuous, sexy, nice skin, right? Nice thick hair.
She's missing collagen.
Right, she's missing her back tooth,
Yeah.
her hair's thinning. You know what I'm saying? Her ass is flattened out.
Right,
You
right.
can see the collagen. You can see the I'm sorry, not collagen, the cellulite
In the
through
veins.
through her spandex. Right.
Right.
You can see the cellulite through the spandex. All right. She got inflammation in her ankles,
Right.
and her nails are broken. She's through. Yo, this one's finished.
God, man.
You know, it's over.
Her makeup's running.
Makeup's running because she's been crying.
Yep.
You know, it's over.
God.
It's over, bro. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is weakening the hammer of the earth.
God.
Because this prophecy, this is prophetic.
That's right.
And prophecy can't be disannulled.
Right.
It can't be leaded. Prophecy is going to go forth according to the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. No matter who agrees or disagrees.
Right, right.
And that's the point. You got, hold on. You got something to say? All right, go ahead, brother, because you got a precept. No, he got a precept. Salaki, what are you holding?
Isaiah 14.
Hold that. Let this brother get that real quick.
There's the
Salaki, you know
book
from before. You got
of
it, brother.
Jeremiah,
me
chapter
grab that.
50 and verse 22. A sound of battle is in the land and of great destruction.
Woo! Right. And hey, go on your. Hey, all you gotta do is turn on the news.
Right.
You see? And what you gonna hear? Wars and rumors of wars. When you go into that word rumor, it goes into a report. It goes into news. When you look it up,
Right.
this is what's happening.
And the big talk is negotiations on nuclear power plants.
Yep.
Nuclear programs.
Right.
You know, this is the whole the threat to America.
Mm-hmm.
These nuclear programs that these other countries now they have their hands on.
Right.
You know, and the negotiations are falling.
Right.
So guess what? Now they're thinking that they can threaten people and be like, yo, if you don't stop this, we're gonna run up on you, and they're like, fuck you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So a sound of battle is in the land of great destruction,
Right.
man. That thermonuclear destruction.
Who are you to tell these other nations how many missiles they can or cannot have?
Right, man.
Which shows you that this is the hammer.
Right.
It shows you that in Revelations
Well,
18.
once was.
Right. In Revelations 18, yo, this is it.
That's right.
This is it. Okay, what John the Revelator saw, this is it. He's
Right.
seen that whore. Revelation, what's that, 17? You know? He's
Right.
seen that. He's like, yo, he marveled.
Marvel that, yeah.
The scriptures say he marveled at it. He was looking in like, God damn. They're doing all that. You know, so at the end of the day, the type of stance that America takes towards these other nations regarding their, like the brother saying, their nuclear weapons programs. Who the hell are you to tell me how many weapons I can have or can't have? Showing you that this is the powerhouse. See, it's tokens like that that shed light on that. You know, but again, you got those out there, the likes of vocab and those like them that just want to cancel out, you know, important factors like that. To try to run around the fact that this place is Babylon the Great.
Right.
You know, this is it. You got it, brother.
Verse 23. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder
Woo!
and broken? How is Babylon becoming desolation among the nations?
Damn. And it's gonna happen through when that third woe manifests into its perfection, man. When those missiles are shot from continent to continent, pursuant to Revelation, 200 million warheads are gonna pelt this landmass, man. That's how that's gonna happen.
Right.
That's how this place is gonna become a desolation, bro.
That's right, I got one more verse.
Con.
Verse 24. I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou wast not aware. Thou art found and also caught,
See?
because thou hast striven against the Lord.
Right, so this place has been striving, right, coming up against Yahweh Bashim Yahushai since its inception. Since its inception, it's been coming up against the Lord. Okay, the Renaissance period is oriented around coming up against the Lord. This is a manifestation of the Renaissance period, man. That nigga you see right there on that poster, on that board. That's the manifestation of the Renaissance, man.
Right.
You see, they went around Europe committing iconoclasm, rewriting history, lying on the Bible.
Right.
That's blasphemy, man. And there's a punishment for that.
That's right.
You see, but now he's been found. The scripture says he's been found and he's been caught.
Right.
There's no more running, there's no more hiding. The light is shining.
That's right.
The Lord sent his men, all right, in the form of the servants, the prophets, his friends. Okay, the prophets are likened unto the friends of Yahweh Shai. He put the spirit in them. He breathed in us, right? From the elders and apostles on down. He breathed in us, man. And now there's a resilient spirit on us to where we're going to die telling Esau he's going to lose.
Right. Right.
We're going to die telling him that, man. The true men are going to do that. Those that they do get their hands on through the, according to the, will of the Lord, pursuant to Revelations 20 that must play out.
Right.
The true men are going to tell Esau, Edom, the so-called white men in his face, before they give up the ghost, nigga, you gonna still lose.
Right.
You see?
Right.
It is what it is.
Right.
And that's the end all be all, bro. Not what Esau's talking about. These prophecies, man. And Esau, his back is against the wall. He can't escape the reality of prophecy. He's trying to, though. He's trying to prolong it. He's trying to redirect it. Flat tire. He's trying to redirect it.
Right.
But again, we mentioned it earlier. There's no letting it. There's no letting prophecy, man. There's no disannulling it. This is Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai's movie. He's controlling all the actors within it. You see? And ultimately, we're in a time now where Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, he's on the shit end of the stick. He was a golden cup in Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai's hand. But now the Lord's like, you know what? It's over for you. I used you for your purpose. You manifested evil on the earth in its perfection. All right, I allowed you to be able to split atoms, bring forth my weapons. All right, I've allowed you to seek out the anatomy, learn the womb, learn the placenta, learn the womb, to be able to actually make a man give birth. Hey, guess what? You do now. It's time for you to lose. What you got, bro?
I did Jeremiah 51 if you wanted.
Now bring that Isaiah out you had.
Sure.
Right, you had Isaiah 14?
did,
But
sure.
for sure, that's what we want.
This is Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 10. All they shall speak and say unto
Right.
thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us?
Why? Because now Esau's in a position where the playing field is even.
Mm-hmm.
You see? Now that's why he's like, nah, you can't have that many missiles. Nah, you can't have that many swords. Because he knows, he's like, ain't gonna be no Hiroshima and Nagasaki event.
Right.
We're gonna be warring. It's gonna be a back and forth. And that Esau's a coward. Right? He don't want a back and forth. Yeah, he's been given the sword and he's been blessed with it. But at the end of the day, he's not a man of integrity. Where he's willing to go heads up. He wants to have the advantage.
Right.
He wants to catch. He wants to have the drop on you. He don't want you to be able to have the drop on him. And that's how a sucker moves, man. Esau is a sucker.
Yep.
You see, but pursuant to that precept he just brought out, the heathen are gonna be looking upon this nigga like, oh shit. Now you as weak as us now? Oh shit. And that reminds me of Joel. The book of, oh, that's the spirit. What you gotta say? He got it. Oh, that's the spirit. You got any more on that? That was it? Read that one more time, little brother. You got it. Read that one more time. I didn't think you were going there when you said Isaiah 14. Go ahead, bro. That's money right there. The whole Isaiah's fight. I didn't know he was going there. Yeah, that's it, bro. You got it.
This is Isaiah chapter 14 verse 10. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us?
And it falls right into that. You got it, brother.
The book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the nations, among the Gentiles. Prepare war.
Woo, and this is talking the natural Gentiles, the heathen. We gotta make sure we examine that. Because ultimately, you have a false doctrine on the planet that tries to label all the Gentiles in the New Testament these heathen. No. Those Gentiles in the New Testament are Israelites, all right? Israelite foreigners, man. That of a heathen, Gentile state of mind. He distracted me. He almost busted his gut. You see, these are Israelites in the New Testament of a Gentile state of mind.
Right.
That's why Scripture says, what's that, Corinthians? Ye were once Gentiles. Right?
Corinthians 12.
The water, brother.
Verse 1.
Ye were once Gentiles, carried off unto these dumb idols, bro. Who do you think Apostle Paul was talking to, man? You see that, right? Who do you think Apostle Paul was talking to, man? He was talking to Israelites, man. Because it's all about the Israelites. But this right here, in Joel, this is talking about the heathen. Read that one more time, my life from the top.
Here's the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up.
Yeah. Where are they going? The valley of Yahweh-Shaphat.
That's right. That's right.
Is where they're going. They're going to be beefing over there in Western Asia. The world calls the Middle East. All right. That in reality, that's Western Asia. That's going to be the melting pot of where Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai settles that controversy he has with these heathen.
That's right.
And ultimately, that right there, what's going to happen over there in West Asia is going to trigger that global war.
That's right.
You got him a lot.
Verse 10. Beat your plowshares into swords.
Woo!
And your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong.
Right, that's why they're pushing out these. I mean, America's doing it primarily, but these other nations are doing it too. They're pushing out GMOs, seedless grape. You know, food's becoming scientifically enhanced because they're no longer agriculture. They're like, yo, right? We ain't got time for that, man.
It's not the season for it, man.
It's not the season for it. They're like, yo, feed these niggas anything, and yo,
Right.
let's get them missiles in them silos, man. Right? This is what it is. They're like, yo, fuck it. Let's get these missiles in them silos, man. We got to get these things blueprinted and built. And why are they driven? Why are they hell bent to get these missiles built? Because Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai.
Right, hey.
You got it, brother.
Keep going, man. If you want me to get it, right?
Khan, can he bounce back real quick?
Khan.
Bounce back real quick, and we're going to bounce right back.
God, it's Isaiah chapter 14, verse 10. All they shall speak and say to thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Thy bond is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy bowels. The worm is spread unto thee, and the worms cover thee.
Right, because this place is decaying. When you let worms present, like worms inhabit a dead body.
Right.
Because it's decaying. You see? And that's what that's allegorically talking to. This place is decaying. It's dying. Read that one more time, brother.
God, Isaiah chapter 14, verse 11. Thy farm is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vials. The worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee.
Right. So no longer are you pumped up and proud. At least you're trying to be. You're still trying to wave the flag in the back of pickup trucks and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You know Esau's good for that.
Yeah.
Hey, not to switch gears. We're gonna go back. I was doing a lesson on my way to work. I was going live on my way to work, right? And brother, I was right near my job, and then I was cutting through like Linfield. It's like a Shaw and Esau area.
Yep.
Right? And I was on the back roads. There's a dude that pulled out of a side street, old pickup truck. He had a Trump flag on one side and an old school Confederate flag on the other. You know what I mean? And I looked at the live and I looked it back. I ran it back because I said to the brothers and sisters, I'm like, you may have seen it. I mentioned how, I said a couple of things, but I was like, you may have seen them. That's how I had the camera set. You brothers know how I set it up. So needless to say, I ran the live back and I watched it and I'm like, they've seen it. They could see it. Yeah, he came through Holland. You know what I mean? You got was it a Trump flag or an American flag on one side and like an old school Confederate flag on the other side? I'm like, look at this man. It was like, it was wide open though. I'm like, this nigga's wide open. Right? It be like that though.
Yeah.
And that's the spirit that Trump's putting on these Edomites.
Yeah.
And it's all by design.
Yep.
You know? Getting these people riled up for this
Hey. Pride coming before the destruction.
That's
and
right.
How he looked before the fall, man. The Lord is raising these devils to give that one last prideful look.
Right, stance.
You know, that prideful look before they trip and hit their face right on the ground.
Time. And what I was gonna say also to add to that was that the race wars, the Lord's kind of like stirring up them spirits.
That's right.
Because supposedly there was this Edomite that was stabbed up by a Jake somewhere in the subway. I heard something. This is all predictive programming and just mind. What's it called, brother? The military uses it. PSYOP, brother. Thank you. It's PSYOP is what it is. It's PSYOPs, bro. This is how Esau's moving.
Order out of chaos.
Right, or that KO, you know? But ultimately it's because this place is, Esau's losing. Esau's lost the ability to control the narrative
Yep.
because the truth is sprung forth. The unicorn, which is the internet, completely leaped out of his grasp. Esau's in a position now where he's just like, shit. He's just like, shit, I'm just gonna go for it. It's like when you're playing blackjack and you're like, fuck it, I'm all in.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry,
Poker.
yeah, Karen, the water, brother. Poker. I'm all in. You know? Fuck it. You know you don't got a hand.
Hey, the poker face didn't work,
Right.
so you gotta throw your chips in.
Got it. You know?
Yeah.
You throw your whole body into it when you go all in. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
You know a nigga's lying.
Right.
Cause when you know what I mean? Cause I play poker. You know what I mean? You just, you know what I mean? Like nigga throw his whole body into it.
Right.
That this
Hey.
nigga's lying.
Hey.
Yeah, he's capping.
You looking at him dead in his. He's looking at you dead in your eyes, but his pinky over here is like, it's moving. Suddenly, you know what I mean? He's there trying
Right.
to persuade you with fear.
Right.
No, but that shit ain't working no more.
It's not working.
They calling your bluff.
That's right.
know?
And that's like it unto you got it, brother.
Not good.
And that's like it unto these nations. They're calling her bluff.
That's right.
That's why China was like, and we're gonna go back to that, brother. I know you had a little more in that idea. We gotta finish that precept. I'm not sure if you left it. China was like, oh, any war front America wants to take it to, we could go there.
Right.
Yo, that's a what?
Yeah.
Yo, they're like, yo, any front, whether it be economical, whether it be like grid related, like what is it? There's a term for it, or legit like toe to toe.
Right.
Yo, China, because remember, you got to remember, China's another superpower too,
Right.
and they're gonna be a major player in this thing too.
Yeah. Hey, you got somebody like Iran that used to be insignificant before, talking about hell no, you know? Oh, if you don't stop your nuclear programs, we're gonna hit you up with missile strikes. It's gonna get bad for you. And they're like, whatever. You know what I mean? Fuck you, man. Do what you gotta do.
Right.
You know what I mean? Why? Because Iran is under Russia, man. That shield and buckler, man.
And we're gonna show you that through biblical prophecy. Backing up what this brother's saying, man. We're not just talking. Biblical prophecy backs it up. You see?
And we're gonna
show you
how Ishmael is turning back to his nature, his wild nature.
Right. All right. And for those of you naysayers out there, we're not gonna just be reading those scriptures. No, we're gonna dig in a little bit.
Right.
We'll dig in. We'll grab some words and get the names of these origins and go from there. So you can, if you can't see it at that point, guess what? There's nothing we can do for you. You see, because the difference between, I'm sorry, brother. See, the difference between Great Millstone, which is the school of the prophets, and all the disciples under them, versus these other Israelite congregations, is that we study. We have to study. That's the spirit that the Lord put on us, for one, and for two, anyone that's not in the studious mindset or studying, they're sooner or later, they're gonna be weeded out because they become dead weight. You gotta be able to hold your weight. You gotta be knowledgeable, man. The elders say you gotta be aristocratic. And we all have been given our portion, but we're required to study. So when it comes to defending the gospel, our stance and foundation is sure. You know, and every brother from the least brother in the body can defend the gospel on every level. You know? On every level. The brother can defend the gospel. You see? And that's how you know that the Lord truly has sent that man, man. Because they're gonna know the Lord's will. They're gonna know the text, they're gonna have the understanding. You see? But there's a lot of phonies out there. A lot of you JK ain't right. I wanna ask you to say that real quick before a lot of you JK ain't right, man, but I ain't gonna go too long on that. Brother, what you holding? You were holding the Isaiah still, right? But Back was charged, there was a little more than you finish, but read that again and then read down a little bit. And I think you have something, right?
Still have to
Yup, the brother still has your wealth. We gotta touch that. That's money all over the place, isn't it?
Isaiah chapter 14, verse 11. Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows. The worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning?
Right.
How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations?
Right. So how are these elites? That's what Lucifer's going into. All right, Lucifer going into light bearer. All right, the Illuminati. That's where you get that. That's where you get that. You see, when you look up the etymology of that word Lucifer, it goes into light bringing or light bringer. They're the ones that bear the light on the left-hand side right now, the global elite. But guess what? They're gonna fall from heaven, meaning what? They're gonna fall from their rulership. They're gonna fall from this third heaven. You see, which is this first heaven really being the earth. You see the rulership, the second heaven being constellations, you know, where the birds fly, the stars, the moon, and then the third heaven being where our power dwells, which is the fourth dimension. So really, the first heaven, they're gonna fall from that first heaven, their sovereignty. They're gonna fall from that rulership stance. That's what that's talking to. Not a war in heaven that a nigga at your church will tell you is going into.
Right.
Nor is Lucifer Satan. Okay? You know? Lucifer's only in the Bible one time.
Right.
And it's in the precept in Isaiah 14 that our brother's reading right now. And that's what it's talking to. It's talking to the light bearers, the elite. They're gonna fall from heaven. Actually, matter of fact, read that again and then jump and then it mentions something down a little further down.
Sure.
Right? We'll read down to that point.
Isaiah chapter 14, verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations?
And as a matter of fact, no, it mentioned it above that. So we ain't got to go further down because it mentions, is this the man? No, it mentioned it already. You already read it. It says, is this the man?
That's
Right?
a little further down, actually.
Oh, is it? Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, okay, Salaki, it is further down. I thought you read that already. I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, and how did they weaken the nation? And you can jump right down to that point. How did they weaken the nation?
Isaiah chapter
No, hold on. I'm sorry, bro, you're good. How did they weaken the nation? That greenback. That greenback, man. You see, financially, economically, they weaken the nation. Because here it is now. Look at the market as we speak. The market's going south, man. And everyone joined on too. Oh, he's back again. But what's the yeah, let him do his thing. What the map. You see, so ultimately, right? That's how Esau weakened the nation, and with his philosophies as well. You know, his ways of life, which is a very low level way of life, man. The way Esau rolls, very low level. When you get up on him, you know what I'm saying?
No morals.
No morals,
That's why
brother.
this is that valley, man, of the shadow of death, man.
Khan.
And they came from the fucking pits of Europe, man.
Right.
Which is, that's a low land, but they were always morally low, man.
Khan, brother. Khan. And the scriptures highlight that. What's that? Hebrews 12 and 16?
Yeah,
Right?
but this is the valley of the shadow of death.
Right,
man.
hell yeah. Job
A
said
land
that.
of low morals.
Job said that. What's that? Job, as a matter of fact, can we grab that real quick? Babak Rashad? My other phone. I got it right here. You got it though?
What do you want?
Job 10. Down at the bottom. Babak Rashad. Like the last 3 verses, 3 or 4.
Right there. All right.
Job, that's it,
Come.
Job? Okay, yeah.
There's the book of Job, chapter 10, verse 21.
So what, am I right?
Before I go whence,
Now read up one more piece up.
Come. There's the book of Job, chapter 10, verse 20. Are not my days few?
Yep.
Cease then, and let me alone, that I may take comfort a little. Before I go whence, I shall not return, even to the land of darkness and the shadow of death. A land of darkness as darkness itself, and of the shadow of death without any order, and where the light is as darkness.
Right. And that shows you that it's talking about Babylon the Great. The land without any order, man. All right, what other land is more rebellious, right, than Babylon the Great? All right, Merathiam, spoken of in Jeremiah, which Merathiam goes into double rebellion. What other land mass? Tell me, man. Tell us. Put it on the chat. You know what I mean? Hey, there ain't going to be no other land that's more rebellious than this one, man. This is why these nations want to come over here, man. They want to come over here to be able to live a life of rebellion. Okay, to live a life of profanity, of sexual immorality. This is why they come over here, man. That's why, hey, the land of the free, right? The land of the, what do you think that's going into, man? That's going into open rebellion towards the Lord. To be able to do what you want, live how you want. Be who you want. You know? But anyways, brother, you got that? Isaiah 14? Come on, let's make that point real quick and we'll move on. The brother got Joel and we'll keep going. We'll grab that article as a matter of one of the articles, if the Lord allows.
It's Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 16. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee, and consider thee, say, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms?
Showing you that Lucifer it's talking to a man. Okay, because that carried over right to the next talking point. You see, is this the man that did shake kingdom? And they're gonna narrowly look upon you. When you narrowly look upon somebody, you're looking at them like, kind of giving them that side eye, kind of like, this dude right here?
Right.
You know what I mean? If you with somebody, you kind of
really do that.
right, you squint.
Yeah, you know.
Right. Yep. And ultimately, did he shake the nation? How was he shaking the nation, man? Through his missile programs, man. He was the first to drop bombs on people, man. Esau was the first to do that. Also showing you that he's Esau. Because that sword in its perfection are those missiles, man. Those ICBM missiles. And it's not a coincidence that he was the first to drop bombs on people, bro. In the form of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Esau Edom, man. The so-called white man did these things, man. That's why that says that. Okay, is this him? Is this the man that did shake kingdoms, man? Go ahead, bro.
They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee, and consider thee, say, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms?
You see?
That made the world as a wilderness?
Right, that made the world as a wilderness, man. Everything Esau puts his hands to, man, he destroys it. This nigga found himself up in the inner where is it? He didn't really make it out of space. You know what I mean? But he got the space station, floating around. And what do we got up there? We got space junk. Because Esau was there. There's a whole island, plastic island off the coast of California, man. Why? Because of Esau. Okay? Animals going extinct because of chemical runoff due to his industrial revolution. Why? Because of Esau. You're eating fake food, you're drinking contaminated water, and you're breathing in polluted air. Why? It all goes back to Esau. These things happened on Esau's watch. You see? And this is why Esau has hell to pay. And we're seeing the build-up to that every day. We're seeing the build-up to it. This is why these heathen nations are rebelling against them. All right? They're not allowing him to go forth with his plans. You see? Oh, and the scriptures tell us in Job, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. You see? So he's in a position of difficulty every step of the way. Every step of the way, bro. You had that, Joel. You wanted to go more on that? Time.
There's the book of Joel, chapter 3. I'm going to read 10 again. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about thither, cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be awakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat.
That's right.
For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about.
You see, and this is the day that's coming upon Esau. This is why there's no peace. You got Trump trying to play mediator, trying to play peacemaker, between them Ukrainians and Russia. No, man, that's not the game plan. Okay, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai's will is to bring forth violence, man, and evil, because that's how he's gonna take you out. All right, that's the bloody end. Esau is gonna have a bloody end. That's the reality, man. You came into power through through bloodshed. Pillaging, robbing, raping. That's the same way you're gonna go out, bro. You got something to say? What you got?
Isaiah 34.
Time.
It's Isaiah chapter 34, verse 1. Come near, ye nations, to hear and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear and all that is therein. the world and all things that come for another. For the indignation of the Lord Jehovah Shai is upon all nations,
Right.
and his fury upon all their armies.
Right.
He hath utterly destroyed them, he hath delivered them to the slaughter.
And notice how it's speaking past tense. It says he had utterly destroyed them. He had delivered them to the slaughter. Because in the heavens, this place is already through. The victory's already set. You see? It's already established, bro. It's just a matter of prophecy playing out. That's all it is. It's already done. You see? And hey, his fury is upon all the heathen, man. All you heathen are gonna pay. But it stops with Esau.
That's right.
All right, this is why we see Esau decaying. All right, the Lord is letting the world see Esau fall from that high seat.
And it's crazy how you say that Esau, that the world is seeing Esau decay, and like we always bring out, that the end was declared from the beginning, right? And Esau was decaying since birth, man. A Shashua, man. You know what I mean? Wasted away is he.
Right.
You know?
That's like an omen.
Nah.
You know?
Nah.
You know? Esau was built to lose.
Right.
You see? He's the son of perdition.
Nah, man.
You know, perdition going into destruction. He was brought forth to ultimately lose at the end.
Right, man.
You know, but he's so proud and he's been able to go forth and commit so many terrible atrocities that in his mind he's like, he got it.
Right.
You know, this nigga had you know, the Beloved Brothers in Texas. There was a robot, like a little robot going back and forth in front of the camp, trying to knock the tripod down. I'm like, God damn! Did you see that? Oh, you missed it. Okay, nah, I was catching that live. I catch that. I be trying to catch the brothers live camp though. You know, the brothers be going in. You know, I recommend brothers watch that. You know, the brothers in Texas, man. You know, Elder, you know, Yashawamba and the brothers, man. Yo, well, catch this. You camp on Fridays, man. You know, you gotta watch. You gotta get that food, that spiritual food. You know what I mean? Because the Beloved Brothers will show you how it's done. You know, and all the brothers. You know, all the Beloved Brothers. You know what I mean? But ultimately, there was a robot going back and forth in their camp, bro. It went by like twice from what I saw. Maybe 3 times, man. You know, I knocked the tripod down, dog. Came around like, what in the world? You know, this is Esau's. This is Esau's world, though. This is what we get in Esau's world. A bunch of reprobate people, AI technology, GMO food. You know, disrespectful children, and a fucking society that's just built off of just being a complete scam artist, man. Because that's how Esau is.
Right.
Esau is the ultimate scammer.
Right.
You know, and before you come into the truth, you're always trying to get up on somebody. You know, that's the way the society's built.
Right.
You know, because of Esau. But now we understand that at the end of the day, having a 3-piece suit and a tie with a comb over is not the way. You see? No.
Right.
Going back to the understanding of our power in the form of the Bible, okay, and its true veracity is the way for us so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. That's our wisdom. That's our strength pursuing the Deuteronomy 4.
That's right.
You know? And when we return back to our power, what happens is there's a hedge of protection, divine hedge that's around you. Okay, your angel, because we all have a guardian angel, right? Triggers, it activates. That guardian angel you got, it activates, man. You know, and now your angel can intervene, which is through the spirit. You know, Yahweh Bashim Shai through the spirit can activate and deal with you, man. But what proves that is the book of Judah 5. It tells you when we return unto our power and being obedient unto him, hey, at the end of the day, our Lord's in our favor.
The angels encampeth around those that fear the Lord.
Right, brother, that's right. That's right, bro. You see, so hey, at the end of the day, we're now on a level through the spirit and the power of Yahweh Bashim Shai. You know, those of us that have been called into the courts, all right, of the Lord, are on a level now, bro. Because now we understand. And this power we're understanding. This power, bro, that's why the scriptures say that this wisdom we have is better than any precious stone, gold, silver, none of that shit matters, bro. Because at the end of the day, Isaiah 33 and 6, wisdom and knowledge.
To build in the ground.
And the strength of salvation.
Right.
And the strength of salvation, man. So at the end of the day, this understanding we have is going to, Lord willing, grant us access to be able to get out of this place alive, bro.
Right.
You know? Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Everyone else is going to lose in America. You're going to lose, bro.
God.
You know? You're going to lose.
Right.
Did you have any more on that?
Yeah, one more.
Tom, go ahead, brother.
Isaiah chapter 34, verse 3. The slain also shall be cast out, and the sick shall come up out of their carcasses,
There's going to be that much death over here.
and the mountains shall be melted with their blood,
Right. Go ahead, bro.
and all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll,
Right.
and all their hosts shall fall down, as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree.
Right. The missiles are going to fly, man.
Right.
The missiles are going to fly. And the majority of them are going to hit over here in the northern west, northern western hemisphere. You see? You got it, brother.
Which proves what? That the scripture that says, then the arrows shall begin to be shot to the ends of the world.
That's right. Yup.
We at the end of the world, right here, America. You know, so this is the talking point. This is the target. You know, as they say when you speak in military talk, right? What do they say? What is it? The location? Can I get the what's that one? Coordinates. The coordinates.
There you
go. Well, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai's coordinates is in America. It's locked in. You know, it's going to be laser guided by the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
Oh, the coordinates is right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Verse 4, and all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down, as the leaf falls off the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree.
Right.
For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, and upon the people of my curse and judgment.
How much clearer does that have to be, man?
God.
The Lord's swords, all right, which are the missiles, are going to come down upon Idumea, man. Esau, all right? Esau, man, that's the Greek way to say Esau, Edom.
Right.
You see? There's going to be an aerial attack on this dude. You know, he's so quick to, you know what I mean? Send a hot one,
Right.
you know, to a nation. And the Lord's like, all right. The Lord's going to do the same thing to you. You see, the people of his curse, man. Showing you that there's no way out for Esau, bro. He's cursed. Well, you're cursed. You know what I mean?
That's it. Yeah, it's over.
You got that, right? You got that black cloud over you, you know? And I'm being, you know, that's allegorical speech for you. You got bad luck.
God.
Everything you do doesn't fall through.
Right.
You know, you getting pulled over every 2 days. It's like, God damn. You know, you tripping over shit. You're hitting your pinky toe on the fucking, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Biting your tongue when you eat. You got, nigga, you out of there right now.
Yeah.
You know, the things are going bad for you. Esau's in that position. Esau's cursed. So when it comes to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai and Esau, hey, there's no good terms. There's no good terms, bro. Esau's gonna be done away with. But the Lord's gonna do him filthy. Because how the Lord's gonna do him, the Lord's gonna let him to continue to prosper. He's gonna let him go so far with his fourth industrial revolution. He's gonna let Esau kill a lot of people. You see? To ultimately crack these skies, okay? And catch Esau slipping.
As the scripture says, right? He that will let until you get him out the way.
Right.
In Thessalonians, 2 Thessalonians.
That's right, brother. And what's so scary, brother, right? Is that the Lord got Esau, right, in the form of these global elites, deconstructing their system, thinking that they're gonna be able to reconstruct it in the form of their new industrial revolution. That's why they're knocking off the market.
Right.
You know, that's why they're doing that. Because in their mind, they're like, you know, we're gonna build back better. We're gonna do it this way. And now we can change everything, you know, economically. You know, ultimately we can, you know, bring forth that, you know, that device to get everybody under this one umbrella of economical trajectory or what have you, you know, everyone's gonna be under this one system. They got to do it somehow, right? They got to do it somehow. This place cannot continue. You know, the monetary system the way it is now can't continue. They got to bring forth a new system. So they got to knock off this economy. That's why you see what's happening with the market.
You got a precept?
Malak, Babak Rashad, can you grab that article?
Sure.
If you may, Babak Rashad. With Trump,
Yep.
Babak Rashad.
This is from Raw Story titled, How Do You Negotiate with This? Rage as Trump suggests he's crashing the market on purpose.
Read that one more time.
From Raw Story titled, How Do You Negotiate with This?
What's that date on that?
April 4th, 2025.
Okay, Khan. That's fresh off the press.
Done. Rage as Trump suggests he's crashing the market on purpose.
Right, and again, that's contrary to popular belief. Okay, because he has no control over the market and which way it's gonna go. You know, ultimately, the international banking families control that. Okay, they're the shareholders of all these major companies. They run the show.
Right, he's just taking the fall for them. You know, there's always a fall guy. You know, where they're like, yo, man. You know, it's like it reminds me of that story with some cardinal got assassinated up in Mexico by the cartel, and they paid off these 2 young kids to turn themselves in. You know what I mean? And they will take care of their families for good. You know, so they took the fall for them. You know, so you know, basically, you know what I'm saying is, you know, the cartel members were the elites in that situation, paying off their fall guy. You know, these elite bankers are on top of Trump. Trump ain't got shit on them. You know, even though he's a billionaire, but they control him. You know, so he's their fall guy. He's the face, you know, of this chaos right now.
Right. So that's how Esau moves. That's how they try to hide themselves.
The expendables.
Right. He's one of their tentacles.
Right.
Because the global elite got many tentacles they utilize. Right. And now he's just one of them.
Hey, it reminds me of too, the Game of Thrones, face gods. The face gods, you know?
Right.
They have many faces and shit.
Right, bro.
You know, people were being set up.
That's right. That's right. You did more on that article? That was no, you got it. You let me know, brother. Is that pretty much the point? You want to get a little bit more?
I'll get a little bit on that.
Can I get like a paragraph, if it's valid?
President Donald Trump left Washington on Thursday to fly back to Mar-a-Lago for the weekend. By Friday morning, the stock market was in free fall for a second day in a row. From his Truth Social page, Trump posted a video from a person going by the handle American Barber Bear, claiming Trump is purposely tanking the stock market so he can get the Federal Reserve to lower the interest rates.
Well, like you get Proverbs 21:1, because at the end of the day, ultimately, when we bring this around full circle in reality, as we're saying that the elite are the ones making the market crash. No, ultimately it's the Lord, because the Lord's controlling them and their mindset. Malak, can you grab Zephaniah 1? Babak Rashad?
Yep.
Khan.
There's the book of Proverbs, chapter 21,
Like
verse
11
1.
or 10.
The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, as the rivers of water. He turneth it whithersoever he will.
You got him, Malak.
God, so like the brother said, you know, the Lord is in control of this no matter what, man. You know, if you go back to looking at the council, what was it, in the book of Kings, where the Lord sent the lion spirit.
Right.
So, you know, there was a council right there,
Right.
you know, on the left-hand side. And this lion spirit said, hey, you know, I'll go be a lion spirit. And the Lord said, and you will succeed.
Right.
You know, so the Lord is in control. When you look at the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12, verse 1, it says that the incorruptible spirit of the Lord is in all things.
That's right.
So whatever the Lord decides, that when it's an incorruptible spirit, that means that it cannot, go against the will of the Lord. It cannot corrupt the decisions that the Lord makes, you know, concerning what he wants, you know? So at the end of the day, like the brother brought out earlier in the lesson, that we're just puppets in the Lord's movie, you know. And as the scripture says, He will harden and He will have mercy on who He will have mercy, right? So this is just a movie of good and evil, okay? And some have been chosen to play that lot, and some have been chosen to play the good guy. You know what I mean? So right now, what the Lord is doing with these bankers is crashing the system in order to fulfill prophecy, you know, in order to bring in that chaos, that civil unrest, right? And to bring in the next stage of prophecy, which is what? It's going to be, you know, the famine, the MOTB, okay? And ultimately that third woe, you know?
That's right. And this is a building block to that.
Right.
What we're seeing. What we're seeing is a building block, all right, to that third woe, man. Because this place is gonna crash systematically.
Right.
You know, but first the Lord's gonna hit it from the interior.
Right. And you know, Esau,
What the hell?
Esau, there's no honor amongst thieves, you know? And Esau, the only thing he knows is his sword. You know what I mean? So when the animal's back is against the wall, he's gonna go to his natural instincts. And Esau's natural instincts is to go to war.
Right.
You know, bloodshed, swing the sword, use his weaponry, man. You know? This proud bastard is not gonna go out without a fight.
Brother, can
That's
I
why
back
the
you?
Lord-
Can I back you up with one saying? Remember what you're gonna say, bro. I just want to say one thing. That's why Esau got the war on terror, the
Right.
war on crime,
Right.
right? It's always the war on something.
Yeah, that's that red horse that came to take peace from the earth, man,
right.
and was given a great sword.
So like it for cutting you out, bro.
Hey, no, it's all good, brother. You know, and that's why the Lord gave this man a proud spirit. You know, because ultimately that pride is going to be his fault. Where ugly ass truck.
That was the spirit right there.
Right. The pride that he gave them is not going to allow them to see when he's defeated.
Right.
You know, he's going to fight thinking that he can overcome everything with his weaponry, with his technology, with his science. You know, make America great again. Okay, and they can't see when the house is crumbling. The fucking house is on fire, nigga, run. But you talking about, nah, man, we could put this shit out.
Right.
You got a bucket of water, but all 3 floors are blazing.
Oh my goodness.
You know what I mean?
God.
You're too stupid to know when to run, Esau.
Right. That's right. Too proud to pick his fight wisely.
Right. Hey, there's a saying that says, you know, if you can run and live to fight another day.
There you go.
You know, but Esau ain't gonna do that. He's gonna take a stance and fall upon his own sword.
Brother, we say that's a saying in lifting. You know what I mean? In lifting, you know what I mean? Especially when you're powerlifting, when you miss a PR.
Right.
Like the saying is, yo, bro, live to lift another day.
That's right.
Because when you go in for that, if you go for a PR, which is a personal record for you, when you miss that, for you to try to do that again, your central nervous system is shot. You're gonna either hurt yourself, or you're gonna just fail all over again.
What makes you think you're gonna
You're
do
not
it
gonna hit it.
after if you were
You know?
fresh
Right.
doing it and you failed,
Right.
you just exhausted yourself and you're gonna try again?
Right.
See, but this is Esau. This is
That's
the
right.
pride we're dealing with on this earth. And that's why a lot of you, Jake, are gonna lose as well, because you've become proud just like Esau, man. You know, you don't want to hearken unto the Lord, to the words of the Lord, okay? Not understanding, and you're spiritually blind, right? The whole earth is in gross darkness, right? You don't want to return to the light, which is the glorious gospel.
That's right, brother.
Right, that a Mashiach Yahushua is shining unto you, okay? So now you're not going to be able to see, just like Esau, when the house is burning, get the fuck out.
Right.
The Lord said to depart, that this is not your rest, man, you know?
Yep.
But our people have made it their rest. They're kicking back, sleeping, slumbering, right? The alarms are blazing, right? The fire is lit, okay? And you're going down with Esau, man.
Ooh, man. Jake is stupid, bro.
Huh.
Isaiah 6, though. Isaiah 6. Based on what you just said, Isaiah 6 comes to mind.
Right.
You know, when would they get it? When would these niggas get it?
Was that too?
When everything's destroyed and the land's desolate, nigga. That's when these niggas
Con.
Isaiah 6, Malak?
Con.
Down at the bottom?
I think it, yeah. Is it six and 4, I believe?
It's low. It's lower than that.
Yeah, Con. Okay.
You want to grab it? You don't got to.
I was gonna grab this real
Nah,
quick.
get that, brother. Get whatever else you got. You got it,
Yeah.
bro. I was just speaking out loud, thinking out loud.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 4, verse 22. For my people is foolish.
There you go. That's nice.
They have not known me.
Woo!
They are Sodom's children,
Charge is going into stupid.
and they have none understanding.
Hey, so we ain't wrong for calling you Jake stupid.
Right.
All right, you got niggas coming up on comment boards and leaving comments on, well, oh, your language is harsh, you know.
Hey.
You're a man of the Lord speaking like that. Man, you don't understand what you just stumbled upon. Okay, you stumbled upon the reality, okay, of the Bible when you come up into this arena.
Was that scripture? Was it Paul that said, even though I speak harsh speech?
That's right. Yep. What
Yeah, I
scripture
mean-
is that?
Rude to speak, not knowing.
I forgot where that's at.
Yeah, I'm rude to speak, but not in knowledge.
Yep.
Yep. You know,
Right.
so at the end of the day, that's why, you know, you people are accustomed to these, you know, going to these fucking churches where they're just speaking these smooth things, you know. I got a name today from the Lord, and,
All
you
this
know,
crazy
come
shit.
up to the pulpit.
Right.
Today's your day of salvation. You know, like, come on, man, shut the fuck up. Okay, we're gonna tell the people what it really is.
Yep.
Either you turn back to the Lord, or you're gonna die. Point blank, period.
Yep.
We ain't gonna trim our ways to seek your love. Either you with it or get the fuck away from us.
That's right.
Point blank, period. We don't need to be walking with dead men around us, man.
Right.
You got a fucking target on your back, and you think I'm gonna chance, you know, me being your collateral damage?
Come on, brother.
Get the fuck away from me if you don't want to be in this congregation.
Especially-
Stay with the congregation of the
Selective.
dead.
Yep. Especially the times we're in now.
Uh,
The times we're in now are serious, man. We're in some deadly serious times, man. Esau's about to make a power move.
right.
You know,
right.
he's gonna come down upon the brothers and
Right.
sisters, man. You gotta make sure you're rooted and grounded in this thing.
Right.
Now is the time to immerse yourself in the oil. If there's been any other time throughout the course of the ministry to immerse yourself in the oil, it's now. Really get immersed and just your cup running over, man. Because it's about to go down, and all you're gonna have is yourself and the Lord. You know, and if the Lord doesn't have a relationship with you, when he sends the modern day Assyrian, you're gonna be out there looking crazy. You ain't got no relationship with the Lord. You've been using him and abusing him.
Wow.
You know?
It says they are wise to do evil,
That's right.
but to do good they have no knowledge.
They come up on the camp talking about, what are y'all doing? Preaching the gospel. Oh, what's that? What gospel? Oh, you know, the so-called, look at the sign, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the chosen people. Oh, what about the white man? Oh, you know what I mean? What about the white man? The white man came in? Listen, man. We're not telling you the so-called white man or the heathen are not going to be in the kingdom of heaven. Hey, they're going to be there. Esau's on a limited time span, by the way. No, they're going to be in the kingdom. They're just going to be slaves.
Right.
Okay, they're going to be subjugated to being underneath Israel. They're going to pay tributary. And guess what? They're going to love it because they're going to be living in a paradise.
Right,
After
right,
that 1,000 years,
Right. Well,
Man.
Esau's gonna
And
get eviscerated.
right, and that, Esau's on a time limit. That's why I
Right.
said Esau's on a time limit.
Yeah.
Because Esau ain't going to be able to enjoy that. He's not going to have a resting place.
Right,
Like it
right.
tells us in Isaiah, a burial.
Right.
He's not going to have a burial with the heathen.
Right. I got another one
You
for
got
the,
it,
for, the,
brother.
for the Jake. man.
Khan, you got it, and then we'll get back into the gear. Right, you got, what are you holding?
Or it doesn't matter what.
Okay, Khan, you got it. my
There's
man.
the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 6. For I am the Lord, I change not.
Woo!
Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed.
You got it, brother.
Even from the days of your fathers, ye are gone away from my ordinances, and have not kept them. Return unto me, and I will return unto you, says the Lord. But ye have said, wherein shall we return?
If I may, Jake has always been fascinated with doing things of the heathen. This is why the Lord warned us in Jeremiah. What's that? Jeremiah 10? Learn not the way of the heathen.
That's right.
That's why the Lord said that, because Jake has always been fascinated with following behind the heathen, and it's always led to our demise. But even to this day, Jake hasn't learned. To this very day, as they lose with juice in them.
Right.
You know what I mean? You done seen your uncle and your aunt or your cousin shrivel up, fold over, and get sent back to the spiritual world because they decided to go out there and take a shot.
Right.
But you still think this man's in your has favor for you.
Right.
Jake, you a sardist, bro.
I I got one more
I
on the
got you.
same
Con.
chapter.
And ultimately, here it is. You got it, and the market's crashing, and we know Jake is a major consumer. So this is a good relation. The Jake is the major consumer, bro. So here it is. The market's plummeting, shit's inflating, and Jake's still in a position where he thinks America's gonna win. Esau's gonna win. He's still joining that too. I'm talking about niggas for Trump.
Right.
This is what Jake's are doing.
Right.
This is what Jake's are doing. You got Latinos for Trump, right? You got niggas getting carried off, right? And getting thrown in the back of ICE van with the Trump shirts on. The brother sent me a picture.
Yeah.
Remember the thumbnail?
He was getting arrested with a Latino for Trump shirt on.
Yeah, dog. Come on,
Being
man.
deported.
Nigga. But Jake, you're just out of there. You got to be reset.
Right.
And you will lose with Esau. Guaranteed.
This is Malachi chapter 3, jumping down to verse 13. Your words have been stout against me, says the Lord. Yet ye say, what have we spoken so much against thee? Ye have said, it is vain to serve Yahweh.
Right.
And what profit is it that we have kept his ordinance?
Them words ain't gonna feed my daughter.
Right.
Right? Them words ain't gonna feed my daughter. You know how many times I heard Jake say that? And I'm sure you, Akim and Akwaf, have heard this. And all types of other reprobate responses they get when you tell them, okay, oh, repent, bro, repent. Oh, that ain't gonna happen. That's not gonna happen in our lifetime.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's not gonna, you know what I mean?
Right.
And they stand on that too. That's why I said your words were stout against me. Stout going into strong.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
When you come, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
brother.
bro.
When you come up against the men of the Lord and with that type of shit, you have to understand. Ultimately, you're coming up against the Lord, man, because He sent His men.
Right.
And one scripture that proves that, oh man, it came and left. Oh my goodness, it came and left. It hit me and then it said, "See you later." Oh my goodness, it's gone. Lord willing, they'll come back. We'll just let it float. But there's a few of them out there. It goes in, those that despise you, don't despise you. Oh, I think it's 1 Thessalonians. Can you grab that real quick? It's 1 Thessalonians, right? But Buckle Shot, can we grab that real quick? Just to back up what the brother's talking about, man. Bring it out.
Let me just finish this
Come on,
last
you got it,
line.
brother.
It says, and that we have walked mournfully before the Lord of hosts, and with a question mark. You know, basically saying what is suffering for the Lord gonna do for us, you know?
Right.
What is keeping his law, statutes, and commandments gonna do for us here?
Right.
You know? And that's the mindset
1
of Jake.
Thessalonians 4. Like 1 Thessalonians 4. I want that one. I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry. It's 4. I just came. It hit me up. I want 4. Time.
And that's the
Buckle
mindset
shot,
of Jake.
brother.
Because in order to make it in this society, you gotta be wicked. You know, you gotta be a wicked man in order to be living okay over here, man. You know?
Right.
Even the law of Jake, you know? It's easy to go to have a plug and go pick up some drugs and make a couple bands a week, you know, and live comfortable, right? Hey, and as long as you're doing that, the white man is okay.
Right.
You know, because he's either gonna make money off you and that, or he's gonna lock you up and make money off you in jail too.
Right.
You know, whether you die, he's gonna make money off you. Hey, you're just cattle, Jake. You're cattle to the so-called white man, and you're still serving them in this planet prison, man. In this prison planet.
Right. Yup. And that's a damn shame, because that's exactly what Esau done turned this place into.
Hey, here it is that the Lord said, the truth shall set you free, but you still choose to be Esau's slave, man.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
Hey, the scripture says that a gift ruins a man's heart, man.
Right.
You know, and that's why
That's
your
it,
mind is corrupt, and you don't want to be righteous because of the gifts that Esau gave you. Mainly, he's giving you a gift that feeds your flesh,
Right.
which is all the abominations that you have been indoctrinated in America, the great city, man.
That's right, brother.
You
That's
know?
a fact.
But at the end of the day, hey, this is a win-win for you in wickedness. All right, but you're gonna find out that you're a two-time loser, because at the end of the day, you lost here, and when the Lord come back, you're gonna catch some missiles as well.
That's right,
You're
brother.
not gonna be in that first go-around, right, to be joint heirs with Yahweh Bashim Yahushua ruling over the nations.
That's
You're
it.
gonna wake up with everlasting shame, man. You know?
Ain't content.
Come, man.
Bring that out, brother, real quick.
So, this is 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 8. He therefore that despiseth not man, but Yahweh, who has also given us unto us the Holy Spirit.
See that? So if you despise us, you got an onslaught of these niggas, you know, popping up on TikTok. You know, the beloved elder Manasseh Zakpa is doing lessons on a lot of these niggas, man. They have a lot to say about the Hebrew Israelites. Guess what? You don't despise us, and ultimately you despise Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, man. That's who you despise, and that's who you're coming up against, undenounced to you. You see, a lot of you niggas are in a conundrum, and you don't even realize it. But the Lord is going to settle the score with you niggas, man, when he visits you with that cruel messenger. The score is going to be settled. And then on that day, you're going to be calling on the Lord. It's a guarantee. Yeah, I guarantee. You're going to be calling on the Lord then.
Hey, I got something.
Calm a lot, and then we're going to go back to that Zephaniah. You got it, brother.
There's the book of John, chapter 3, starting at verse 18. He that believeth on him is not condemned,
Right.
but he that believeth not is condemned already.
And that word condemn goes into doom.
Right.
When you look up that word condemn, it's doomed, bro. So these niggas are doomed already. You got it, brother. Hey, 2 Esdras 9. What is it? Let the multitude perish. Right, that was born in vain.
That's right.
These niggas are doomed.
That's
You
right.
got it, brother.
Because he has not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of Yahweh.
Proving we're gonna have the name
That's right.
IUIC.
Still got more.
Time,
Says,
brother.
and this is the condemnation,
Woo!
that light is come into the world, and men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil. For
Yup.
everyone that doeth evil hateth the light,
Yup.
neither
Yup.
cometh to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved.
That's right, brother. And
You
that's
know?
it. And the thing with Jake don't want to be corrected.
That's right.
You niggas don't want to be corrected, man.
Right.
And when you come into this arena, that's something that comes with the territory.
That's right.
Because we've been living our lives for the majority of the time like reprobates.
That's right.
So we have to be taught how to do the right thing. Madness, bro. I was hoping to see an accident with that truck just now in
Did
the
everything.
intersection. I was hoping. But, you know what I mean? It's all through the spirit. But yeah, man, hey, correction is grievous to those that forsake the way, Malak.
That's right.
Right? Correction is grievous, man, to
right.
those that forsake the way. Correction is part of our heritage.
That's right.
You see? So when you come into a position where a brother's telling you something and you get offended or you won't change, because we know brothers like that. We met brothers, you know, we've been you know what I mean? And they know who they are. And the spirit made me say that. It is what it is, man. You see? And guess what? You ain't gonna go nowhere fast with that type of mentality, because the Lord ain't playing that. You're a renegade. Maybe I'll score right here. Anything? Because you know that truck can't stop that fast, though. The way he's driving?
Like a madman.
Yeah, he was. Oh, nothing on that one. I was hoping to enter that. Boom! Yeah, that would be nice. Hey, it's all through the spirit. But anyway, I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, man. So if you can't be corrected, if you can't be reproved, which is the mindset of 2/3 Jake, okay, you're a renegade, man. You're a renegade, is what you are. You know? And there's a lot of men we've seen in the truth that were once in the body and they went rogue. Because they fell into the category of men that can't be told where they're going wrong. You know? And it's all through the spirit, man. The Lord is dealing with the brothers, man. If a brother's telling you something, the spirit, you got to analyze that. You can't just take it and be like, nah, this brother's tripping, X, Y, and Z. No, you gotta let that. And even honestly, through the spirit, if you're really tapped in, and even those individuals that are not even in the truth, you can have a heathen tell you something. Analyze that. Be like, yo, And the Lord can, like the brother quoted earlier, Wisdom of Solomon 12:1. The Lord's intellectual spirit is in all things. The Lord can use anybody to tell you something through the spirit. And you might be in the world on your clock kick, and somebody tell you something, you be like, oh shit, and kind of analyze that, bro. Be like, shit, you know? And you can correct that and be that much better for the Lord. Like, this is crazy, man. This is like, it's like so chaotic in Babylon. It's madness, bro. But anyways, bro. But yeah, going back to the point, to bring it back around full circle, right, with Jake. Jake is the major consumer, you know, in America, in the world, anywhere Jake's at. You know what I mean? Jake wants the finest things. Jake wants to go to the finest places. You know, Jake can't pay his rent, and this nigga's trying to go, you know what I mean? Trying to go to a fucking, I don't know, man. He's trying to do too much.
He get a PPP loan and he want to go spend it on he want to go spend it on a fake spoon, a fake melted spoon to put around his neck.
Bro, that's hilarious.
Because you know these jewelers ain't giving you the real shit.
Right.
You know, you spending 40K on some melted fucking spoons, you know, and some fake diamonds. You know, but that's how stupid Jake is, man.
That's right.
You know, we don't got them resources. We don't got, you know, real gold out here, you know, and they know Jake is stupid. You know, so hey man, they'll dress up, they'll dress you up with a V4 fucking engine and paint 12 over it, and you're like, look what I got, look what I got, bro. Y'all check this out. They got a nice stereo system. Right. Shit. 2 weeks later, your shit's fucking fuming. You ain't you ain't got no warranty on it. You ain't got shit. Yep. They sold you a dream, man. Right. And Jake is quick to buy dreams, man. Jake. Okay? But we over here giving you salvation, man. We over here showing you that there's gonna be real rulership, and you're rejecting it for a fantasy. Right. Because this is what we're living at, man.
Right. We're showing you salvation, we're showing you it. You know, through the Spirit, you will receive it. Right. Lord willing, if you do the right thing, based off what we're telling you. Just let me get the eye onto them a lot.
But they want to stay here in Disneyland.
Right. They want to stay here in Disneyland, bro. Man. And you see what's going on with Disneyland.
That's what Jake loves, man. Jake loves it, man. Jake become like the white man when they love to get a rush off danger. Right. You know? Right. God damn, bro. You going to these damn rallies, knowing that people are getting deleted and ran over. People are getting shot. And Jake all up in there in the mix because they want to be nosy and a part of something that has nothing to do with them. Right. You know what I mean? That's right. Talking about a fucking Trump rally. What the hell is your ass doing there? Why are you there? Right, man. You see? But here it is. All these benefits that are about to be cut off is going to affect you first. Right. That's it, brother. You think you think that shit's gonna hit the gated communities? Right. No, man. These government programs were given to you. Right. 90% of these government programs are Jakes in them, man, enlisted in these SSIs and you know, these Section 8s and housing and SNAP and WIC and all that. Once all these things gets cut off, it's gonna be for your troubles, Jacob's trouble. Right. And when the market crashes, who's that gonna affect first and foremost? You, Jake. Right. Because you, Jake, you ain't got $100,000 in the bank like Esau. Esau got a little bit of change where he can kind of like, he can deal with the inflation. You know what I'm saying? He can deal with it a little bit for a second. Jake, you can't do that. He could go to the bank and get a loan without a loophole. Right, brother. Jake go to get the same loan and they'll be asking you 1,000 questions. Yep. They do a background checks and they say, oh man, well you didn't pay the $25 ticket back in 1979, so we can't trust you. Right. You know? That's it. But Jake still hasn't learned. Right. The system was built for you to fail. That's it. And you still trust in a nation that cannot save themselves, man. Woe unto them that trust in the shadows of Egypt, man. That's it, brother. And that's you simple-minded Jake. That's it. Go ahead, Malak.
Chapter 1, verse 11. How are ye inhabitants of Nag 10?
Nah, start up, Malak.
Chapter 9, chapter 1, verse 10. And it shall come to pass in that day, said the Lord Yahweh Bashmil, that there shall be a noise of a cry from the fifth gate, and a howling from the second, and a great crashing from the hills.
Right, and you already know what's going on over in what is it? I lost my train of thought. Wall Street, right? Literally, they're the ones monitoring the market. They're the ones looking and watching and scanning and scheming. And hey, there's gonna be a crash though, right? There's gonna be a crash in the hills, right? The stocks are gonna crash, bro. This place is gonna fall. But economically, it has to, in efforts to bring forth that right there. You see that, Karagma? I'm sorry, your arm's a little bit. There you go. In order to bring forth that chip, they have to crash this bitch. That has to happen. That's prophecy.
Right.
You know? Or this new system won't come into fruition.
That's right.
Which is gonna bring on the end of this system.
Which is designed by Esau in the flesh, but through the spirit, it's all designed by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai to fulfill prophecy, man. You know, at the end, this is what you call the end game of this world, not the world as the planet of this world, this government arrangement. You know, this cosmos.
This cosmos,
You
brother.
know,
That's
Esau's cosmos.
Right.
This is the end game right here.
Esau's Eon.
Right,
He's out of the door.
man. We're seeing the end tail of his reign, you know, and these are the tokens that the Lord told us, you know, through the scriptures that would happen in these days, man.
Right.
Crashings of the system, bringing the digital system, which is what? It's going to bring in the MOTB, which is
Right.
going to bring what? The missiles right
That's
after.
it, brother. Yep.
You know?
Chronological
end game.
order. That's
Yeah,
it,
man.
bro. Go ahead, bro.
The 9 chapter 1 verse 11. How ye inhabitants of Magtech, for all the American people are cut down, all they that bear silver are cut off.
Right, and I believe Max Tech is a merchant city in Jerusalem. When you look it up, it was like a merchant city in Jerusalem. See, so ultimately, hey, you niggas are gonna lose, man. Right along with Esau. That was perfect. Right along with Esau, you niggas gonna lose. Because Esau is gonna lose. There's no light at the end of the tunnel for Esau.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And that's why when you take a glance, we were speaking about it earlier, when you take a glance, all right, into what's going on between America and that threat that they made towards Iran, that's falling through. That's not being successful.
Right, man.
You see, as a matter of fact, you have that article, right? We'll grab that.
Esau, man. Esau.
I'm sorry, man.
I want to say real quick,
Oh, no, it's up. You good?
Good.
that your article said that you must get the fall on his debt as soon as July.
Ooh, fun fact. Hey, that's a fun fact. Say that again, Ak. That's a fun fact for you, beloved Aki. Let's look that up. Go ahead, you got it.
The U.S. could default on his debt as soon as July.
Look at that.
That's $30-something trillion.
Hey, this might be that dark summer, man.
Hopefully, man, we hasten to get the fuck up out of here.
Right. This
You
might
know?
be it.
We hasten to get the fuck up out of here, man. And bring the proud to their knees, man.
Yeah.
Put these fucking shackles and chains and fetters of iron on you elites, man.
Yeah.
You know? Okay? Bring all you proud MAGA supporters to your fucking knees,
That's
man.
right.
Crying to your false gods. Crying to God in Jesus Christ, man. Call on them names, man, on that day. To see who's gonna respond to you, man. All right? When you're getting your ass fucked up
Yeah.
by these nations, by Jake, Ezekiel 25 and 14.
That's right,
when
brother.
the Lord put that spirit, right, on his hunters to come down on you, man, we're gonna see what reprobate God is gonna help you, man. If your guns, right, and all your love,
Right.
your false love, to see who's gonna be your help on that day, man. We hasten on that day, man.
That's right.
Fuck this place. I hate this motherfucking
That's
place,
right,
man.
brother. That's it. You got the article, Malak?
Uh,
Time about the shot. That's right. Hey, the gold and silver ain't gonna be able to save you either.
right, man.
You know?
Hey, even the Medes, man, the
Right.
Russians are not gonna want to
That's
negotiate
right.
with you, man.
Right,
They
right.
should not regard gold and silver,
Right.
man. They want war.
Hey, they're gonna be sat down too.
Yeah, man, fuck pay. They gonna, hey, what the fuck will they want to pay you for, man? If they can take it off,
That's right.
That's gonna be their mindset. They see that the beast is wounded,
Right.
right? They're gonna go for the head kill, man.
That's it.
Fuck your silver, man. We want it all.
That's it.
Right? But hey, that's what the spirit of the Lord is doing, man. Is amping up these other nations because they see the kill shot.
That's right, brother.
But it's all a deception to bring in what? The Valley of Jehoshaphat, the end game, man.
That's it.
The war that's going to end everything
Right.
and bring peace back on the earth, man. Because in order to bring peace on the earth, there has to be war.
Right.
All right? And in order for there to be peace
That's the balance.
on the earth,
Yep.
Esau got to get taken out the way.
Right.
And the only way that's going to happen is through this thermonuclear destruction.
That's right. The thermonuclear fallout. That's it. That's the only way.
So, this is an article on Zero Hedge, right, by Tyler Durden. Came out on April 3rd, which was Thursday, 2 days ago. Right, it says, Gulf states refuse to let U.S. use bases, airspace for Iran attack.
Right.
It reads, Saudi Arabia and other Gulf states have imposed a ban on U.S. warplanes using their airfields or skies to attack Iran after U.S. President Donald Trump over the weekend threatened to bomb the country.
Right.
Saudi Arabia,
Right.
the UAE,
Right. Which is the United
Arab
United
Emirates.
Arabian Emirates,
Qatar,
which is Ishmael. All right.
Qatar,
Right.
and Kuwait
Right.
have all told the U.S. they will not permit their airspaces or territories to be used as a launch pad against Iran, including for refueling and rescue operations, a senior U.S. official told Middle East Eye.
Now, real quick. Now, ultimately, why do you think that is? The reason why that's the case is because now these Middle East or Western Asian countries are now linking in. They're now joining each other in battle. The time of battle is coming. Now they're joining in.
That's right.
You see, when you go to second Ezra, you got it, brother? Shah, you got it. We'll jump back into that through the spirit.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 28. Behold, an horrible vision, and the appearance thereof from the east.
Right, and we know a vision is talking to what? An oracle, a prophecy. Okay, and we see it manifesting. It highlights the east, okay, which will be Western Asia, the quote-unquote Middle East. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 29, where the nations
Read loud, Malak. Salakia, Malak.
where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots. And
Right.
above,
The nation of the dragons of Arabia, which is talking to Ishmael.
That's right.
Okay, remember the Arabians, that's Ishmael right there, man.
Right.
And we just mentioned the UAE.
Right.
Read that again from the top and continue.
God, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth, that all they would fear them may fear.
Right,
God.
ultimately they're gonna lose. Ultimately, you know, the Lord's gonna blow them to smithereens at some point upon his return as well.
Right.
But go ahead, bro.
Also the Carmanians raging in wrath,
Also the Carmanians, bro,
This is Iran.
which is the Iranians, and we're gonna prove that. Malak, can you Google Carmanian? I'm sorry, no, not Google, Blue Letter. No, I'm sorry, forgive me. Google Carmania real quick. Because what you're gonna find out is that Carmania, right, was a province in Iran. What's that? Modern day Kerman, I believe it's like Kerman, Iran, which was a province, all right, which is Carmania, was a province of Carmania, man, which ultimately is exactly in the land of Iran. Go ahead, brother.
verse 30. Also the Carmanians raging in wrath shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and do
Hold on,
battle.
slow down, read that one more time, and read loud, brother.
God, 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 30.
There you go.
Also the Carmanians raging in wrath shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians.
Right, so they're going to join battle with them. With who? They're going to join battle with the dragons of Arabia, the Ishmael. That's why they're like, hell nah, fuck y'all niggas, man. We're not letting you use our airspace. And they're joining in. It's happening. So now they're linking in, they're tying in. So what you got for Carmanians, Malak?
Today, Carmania, a region in ancient Iran, is represented by the modern province of Kerman, located in southeastern Iran near the Persian Gulf.
Come on, man. So the Bible's talking to the Iranians right there with this Khomeini. It's all coded.
And the modern day Assyrians is Babylon, the so-called white man.
Right. The Assyrians, they're gonna come up against, they're gonna waste them niggas, man.
Right.
It says they're gonna waste them. What you got to say, brother?
They're wasting America. They're gonna come up against full
Right.
America.
The Edomites are the modern day
Assyrians.
Assyrians. You see, so ultimately, not only is Babylon gonna be through, but also Israel. You see where them small hats are at.
Right.
They're gonna be through too.
Right.
You see? But you got it, brother.
Go verse 31. And then shall the dragons have the upper hand.
Right, and who's that? Who's that? You know who that's talking to?
Yeah, Ishmael. the
Ishmael.
dragon of
The
Arabia.
dragons should have the upper hand. Go ahead.
Remembering their nature.
Remembering their
their
nature.
nature.
And what's the nature of Ishmael?
Like Genesis is
Can you get that? Genesis 16? You don't mind grabbing that real
I
quick?
got you.
Genesis 16, Babak Bashar. So this is all making sense. We know who this is talking about. Read that one more time and stop at that point.
Sure.
Babak Bashar.
Second Ezra chapter 15, verse 31.
I think it's like 11.
And then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature.
Right. So they're gonna remember their nature, that they're wild, man. Ishmael's wild, man. That's why he's willing to go toe to toe with anybody and everybody. He's been doing that.
All right, so it's 11. There's the book of Genesis chapter 16 and verse 10. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, I will multiply thy seed exceedingly, that it shall not be numbered for multitude. And the angel of the Lord said unto her,
You see the UAE, they're innumerable. All right? The 12 princes. But go ahead, brother, you got it.
and the angel of the Lord said unto her, Behold, thou art with child, and shall bear
And
a
the
son,
angel's talking to Hagar, obviously.
and shall bear a son, and shall call his name Ishmael, because the Lord has heard thy affliction, and he will be a wild man. His hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him, and he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren.
Read that again, brother, from the top.
And then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature.
Right. And it told you what? He'll dwell amongst all his brethren. The UAE. Right there. Come on, man. Dubai. That's all Ishmael. What you got to say, brother?
They would be against him, and he would be against his hand would be against them.
And it also mentioned Qatar, Kuwait,
Correct.
you know.
Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Brother, continue on.
So, and if they shall turn themselves, conspiring together in great power to persecute them.
They should
They
conspire.
should conspire together.
We see it happening.
And right there,
Listen.
in the article,
Look
it
at
just
the
said
article, bro.
they're not gonna let them.
Come
Hey,
on,
they keep
brother.
going. Let me get,
Go
let me
ahead,
get some
brother.
more, bro.
Go ahead. Yeah, there's a little more
Yeah,
left there.
no, there's more that just details that.
God, you got it, brother.
And it says,
Ezekiel 38, brother.
So, y'all was going this.
Yeah, come, grab Ezekiel. We'll probably close out with this right here.
and it
You know what I
says, the official spoke on the condition of the anonymity to discuss sensitive military planning. They do not want to be drawn in, the official said.
Right, they don't want to be drawn in. And the reason why they don't want to be drawn in, okay, is because Russia is allied with Iran.
Wow.
And Putin made a bold stance towards America saying that that threat was uncalled for. So that's telling you what? Ultimately, they're going to step in on Iran's behalf if they do take a step towards bombing on them.
It says, the Gulf states intransigence is a setback for the Trump administration, which has hoped to use massive airstrikes on the Houthis in Yemen as a show of force to corral Tehran to the negotiating table on a nuclear deal. If Iran realizes the U.S.'s oil-rich Arab allies are not on board with strikes, it could harden their negotiation position.
Woo! You got it, brother.
So at the end of the day, the Lord is putting that spirit for them to get back together. You know? Because, hey, it just said that the Arabs are allies, right? Oil allies with the United States. But how much of an ally are you when you're refusing to help
That's
your
right.
ally? Are you really my ally if I'm not giving you out a hand?
That's
Right? in a position where if you lose a war, we can lose our negotiations
Right.
of this oil thing. But guess what? The earth is seeing the turning point. The world is seeing that Babylon is falling little by little, and they really don't care. At the end of the day, they're like, these people are in debt. You know, their military is looking weaker. Okay, the BRICS nation is rising. We don't need to negotiate with these people no more. And so what if they want to cut us loose? It might be a better idea if we just get away from these people altogether.
Right, because in reality, these Gulf states are allied with Russia.
Right,
Them Gulf states,
right,
they're truly
Right.
allied
right.
with the bear.
Yeah,
Truly. You know, but they're doing business deals with the whore.
yeah, of course. But they see that the whore ain't pulling
know?
like before, man.
Right.
You know?
She ain't sucking like she used to.
Yeah,
You know what I
man.
mean? She ain't
Nah.
sucking like she used to.
This bitch is through,
I'm being facetious.
you know?
Nah.
So you know,
I got an article too.
Huh.
Real quick through the spirit. This is from Newsbreak. All right, this is from 2 days ago. The title reads, Russia says U.S. threats of military strikes against Iran are unacceptable. I'm gonna just get this first paragraph. This is from Moscow, and it reads, Russia said on Thursday that threats of military strikes against its ally Iran were unacceptable and warned that attacking the Islamic Republic could lead to potentially catastrophic results if nuclear installations were bombed, man. So ultimately, that's why those Gulf states don't want to get involved in America's attempt to try and attack Iran, because they're all tied in. And guess what? Prophecy proves this when you go to Ezekiel 38.
I was about to get that.
Oh, you got it? You want to read it, brother? Con, you got it, brother. Through the spirit. You got it. We'll close out with this, though. But there's something I need you to grab, though. Through the spirit. And Blue Letter. Because he's probably, you can grab it in King. Go to Blue Letter and grab Torgama. But Bakosha and get the biblical usage. You got it, brother.
There's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 38. I'm going to start at the top.
Drop it. Drop the caption on it.
And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him. And say, Thus says the Lord Yahweh, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn thee back.
See, so ultimately, Salakia, brother, the Lord's against Russia as well.
That's right.
We have to make that point. Hey, Russia's being used as a weapon.
That's the house of Esau as well.
Right, that's the house of Esau as well.
But
the
the-
Lord's using Russia as a weapon to stop stop the West. You see?
Hey, what did the Lord say? I know he said that, and it's coming. But hey, this is the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahshua.
Yep.
And he said, I did not come to send peace on the earth,
Right,
but a
but a
sword,
sword.
and to cause division.
Woo!
You know, he's divided this house through his prophecies, man.
That's right, brother.
You know? So at the end of the day, a house divided cannot stand.
That's right.
All right? And this is one of the instruments that the Lord is using, division, right? To cause this house to fall.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So verse 4 says, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth. And when
Right,
he
and
said
that's,
turn thee back,
and that's talking to the USSR spirit.
God.
He's bringing them back to that Soviet Union.
Right.
Right, you have the time of the Cold Wars. Right, the whole reason why NATO was even created was an effort to stop the Soviet Union.
Right.
That's why they created the NATO.
Right. So it says, and I will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company,
Right,
with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords.
right,
Persia,
right. Iran,
right there,
that's off the top.
right?
They're joined in battle, man. Go ahead, brother.
Ethiopia
Some Africans.
and Libya
Right, yup.
with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer,
Right,
which is Turkey,
right. Go ahead, Goma.
yeah, and all his bands, the house of Togarma
Which is Turkey.
Right.
Goma and Torgama. Right? Go ahead.
of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee.
Right. And the North Quarters is talking to what? Over there in the northeast. You see, because when you look at a map and you look up the modern day, matter of fact, it's Armenia. When you look up Torgama, That's that's the land of Armenia right now. And that's literally east of Turkey. You see what I'm saying? So grab that in the blue light. You got something to say?
There's
brother?
one more.
Now,
One more
before you
verse.
grab that, Babak Rashad, go ahead, because that's money right there, that last verse.
Khan.
Go ahead, bro. Let this demon go by, Malak. He's not talking to nobody.
And then I was just calmly like looking for
Nobody at all. That is a madman, bro. That's like Grand Theft Auto, that. The Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah.
Yo, that dude wasn't talking to a soul.
Drop that friend. You know the imaginary friend?
God, you know me, myself, and I?
Yeah. God damn, man.
You got it, bro. Damn, that was wild.
And the Hebrew genre Rama would mean, for definition, broadly the area known as Armenia.
Right. Right. Probably an area known as Armenia. And when you look up Armenia, again, it's east of Turkey. It's touching it. It's connected. You see, and Armenia is a real land right now.
Right.
You know? What else you got there? Is there anything else?
So Armenia, Northwest Asia Minor.
Right. Go ahead.
Here it says, we should
It's Northwest
apparently-
Asia Minor, but it's east of Turkey. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's east of Turkey. Yeah. Go ahead, brother.
We should apparently understand Armenia as very abundant horses to Armenia.
Right.
Yeah, that was
That's pretty much the point right there, right? So you can go back to the precept real quick, right, and read that again. The brother's reading it, right? Yeah, Malak, go start. Can you read that verse again? Just that verse, and then read down. You got it, Malak.
Yeah, it says, Ezekiel 38, verse 6,
So Walla, brother.
Gomer and all his bands,
Right,
the house of Togarmah
right, like the brother said, which is Turkey.
of the north quarters,
Right,
and all his bands, and many people with thee,
right. Because as you just read in the article, this is why those Gulf states are not allowing America to do this move, because they're now gathering.
right.
It's happening. You got it, brother.
Be thou prepared and prepare for thyself,
Woo!
thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them.
You see? So Russia's a guard unto them. Who? Those Islamic states.
That's right.
See? This is it's right there. And I just read the article through the spirit regarding Putin's stance towards the threat that Trump made towards Iran.
That's like the big brother saying, hey, listen, man,
You got it, brother.
Fuck
You can
around
close
it.
out. You got it.
fuck around and find out. And we're gonna bring this shit to your front door as well. You know what I mean? He said what? It's gonna be detrimental, he said?
Catastrophic.
Catastrophic. He
Which
said
is
it's
one
gonna be
and the same,
catastrophic.
you know what I mean?
You know? What's that talking about? Nuclear destruction? You only put that word catastrophic when something big is gonna happen. You're not talking about just tariffs and negotiation deals when you speak
Right.
catastrophic.
That's right, brother.
Shit, when you hear about catastrophic event, you hear about a fucking tsunami that took out 100,000.
Right.
You don't hear about a fucking tidal wave that killed 3 people and a dog.
Right.
You know? No, he's talking about nuclear war, man.
That's right.
Catastrophic translates to nuclear war. The Valley of Jehoshaphat, man. The gathering of the multitude, right? In the Valley of Decision.
Right.
This is where we headed to, slowly but surely. Why? Because the sound of battle is in the land, man. And the hammer of earth is being cut asunder, right? As prophecy said it would. Okay? No longer these nations fear. Right? The eagle is on one wing. That shit can't fly no more. Right? That shit can't fly no more.
He's walking now.
Right, man? The hunter has become a prey.
Waiting to die.
You know?
Walking, you know what I mean? A bird that can't fly, waiting to die.
That's what, hey.
That's a beautiful part.
Nah, man, you know, hey,
Yeah.
when the hunter becomes the hunted, it's no longer fun.
Yep.
You know? Now the rabbit is pointing the gun at Elmer Fudd,
Con.
right? This whole time it was fun when you were the only one with the shotgun.
That's right, brother.
But now there's 10 guns pointed at you. Okay? And everybody's ready to fire off, man.
Con.
All the mischief you have done, all the witchcraft, okay? All the bullying, right? All the how you call that? Unrighteous businesses. All the
Right.
shit you done stole from everybody from across the four corners of the earth, okay? You're about to get ran off the planet, like it said in the book of Job, chapter 30, man.
You got one more?
Okay? You are gratefully despised, man. Okay? Those that have what does that say? Those that were at peace with thee,
Have deceived.
have deceived thee,
That's
man.
right, brother.
You know? Go ahead, brother.
This is Jeremiah chapter 15, verse 40. As Yahweh Shai over you Sodom and Gomorrah, and the neighbor cities thereof, said the Lord Yahweh Shai. So shall no man abide there, neither shall any son of man dwell therein. Behold, a people shall come from the north, and a great nation, and many kings shall be raised up from the coast of the earth.
And that company from the north, that's starting with Russia, man. Go ahead.
They shall hold the bow and the lance. They are cruel, and will not show mercy.
You see that? Because the Lord said, if you didn't deal with mercy, you should not be dealt with mercy, and mercy rejoices against judgment. But the judgment that you're going to receive is going to be without mercy. Go ahead.
Their voice shall roar like the sea, and they shall ride upon horses, every one put in array, like a man to the battle against thee, O daughter of Babylon.
You see that? They're going to be in battle formation. The talk is over. The press conference is over, man.
Right.
Right? That bullshit going back and forth, these threats, the tariffs, and if you don't do this, we're going to do that. The talk is over, man. When the Lord put the spirit on these nations, they're going to get in battle formation, and there ain't nothing you can do about it. Not Fort Knox is not going to be able to buy them off, man.
Right. That's right.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit more, man.
Verse 43, the king of Babylon hath turned them before the death, and his hands wax feeble. Anguish took hold of them, and pangs of a woman in travail.
Right.
Behold, he shall come up like a lion from the swelling of Jordan unto the habitation of the strong. When I will make them suddenly run away from it. And who is a chosen man that I may appoint over her? For who is like me, and who will appoint me the time? For who is that shepherd that was sent before me? Therefore ye the counsel of the Lord Yahweh Shai, that he has taken against Babylon,
That he has taken against Babylon. Go ahead.
and his purposes that he has purposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall go on the melt.
And that's who? You small nickel hats over there that are possessing the land. Go ahead.
Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them.
Right, because America and the land of Israel is going to get destroyed. The only difference between both of them is one's going to get rebuilt and one is going to be left up in smoke.
Right.
So the very same quickly, Jeremiah 49 said the least of the flock will dwell in Edom. Jeremiah 50 is Babylon.
Right.
Even that Edom runs Babylon.
Marry them
Right.
together beautifully.
That's right.
Verse 46, at the noise of the taking of Babylon, the earth is moved, and the cry is heard among the nations.
You see that? At the taking of Babylon, the earth is moved, man. Okay? And guess what? That reminds me of that scripture that says the earth will shake to and fro from all those missiles, you know? And why is it going to be a great cry, man? Remember, the merchants are going to look far off and going to be like, damn, man. We ain't going to be able to make no more money off that bitch no more, man.
Right.
She was a good bitch while she lasted.
Huh.
You know what I mean? Time to move on. Oh, well.
Right.
You know? So, hey, man, this is what's coming to America, man. You've been a loser since the beginning of time, all right? Some were born, hey, this is the saying, man. Some were born to be winners. Some were
Right.
born to be losers. And it just so happens that you got the shit end of the stick, Esau. Point blank, period, man. And we see it coming in real time, all right? These news reports that we're bringing out, these are the rumors. That's that barbershop talk, you know? Hey, yo, you heard about Fred?
Right.
You heard about Fred? I heard Icy is looking for him, man. Icy ready to smoke him. Boom, boom. 3 days later, you heard what happened? Yo, Icy got him.
Right.
Icy got him.
Yup.
These are these rumors of wars, man. This is that talk, you know? And guess what? It ain't like these are empty threats, man. The Lord said, I'm not a man that should lie.
Yup.
This is written for a reason,
That's right.
because it's gonna happen. It's not if, it's when.
That's it.
And that's why we keep our eyes open for these prophecies to keep coming forward, man. You know, these earthquakes, these uproars of the people, the signs in the heavens, man. Okay? The cruel Lord that was sent over us, which is Trump, right? These are all signs of the end times, man. Okay? And that's why we're preparing for that showdown. And we can only hope that the Lord has mercy on us, man, that we get that tawaf, okay? Because we're crying out for the abominations of Babylon, man. We're crying out to the Lord for all the things that are going on here, man. Not only for us, for the whole planet Earth, man, the animals.
Right.
There's not even, we need justice for the animals under this criminal, man.
That's right, bro.
This man is a war criminal, man. A nature criminal. Life criminal. He's just a criminal.
Right.
And he got the nerves to turn around and call somebody else a criminal.
That's why he's crimson.
Right, right. You know?
That's why he's crimson.
You fucking sitting in somebody's house talking about why you coming in here?
Right.
You don't belong here.
And then put your face up.
Right.
And then you put your face up on the what's that? Fuck, brother.
The mountain?
Yeah.
Mount Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore. Then you know what I mean? That's a slap in the face to God,
Right,
man.
right. Then he just go to Gulf of Mexico and talk about now it's the Gulf of America.
Right. Crazy,
See?
man.
But it's okay.
He's talking about
It's
the-
okay because we see that these nations are turning on you. And guess what? When you burn that many bridges, all you can do is float till you drown, baby. Try to keep kicking and floating until you drown.
That's a fact.
You see? And guess what's coming when you're in deep waters? The Lord is going to send that strong wind, that destruction, which spiritually causes a what? A hurricane. And if you don't have protection, you don't got those bridges to cross, right? You're just going to drown altogether. You see, your whole house going to collapse. Bodies everywhere, right? And that's why Esau, man, he trying to pull you down with him. You Jake out there don't understand that Esau in the water telling you to pick him up.
Right.
But in reality, he just want to bring you down so you could go with him, man.
Yup.
So you could die with him. You see? But y'all too stupid to see it, man. You know? So, hey, Lord willing, this was edifying. And with that, we going to give all honor and glory to
Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakodash.
Want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone for teaching us this truth. And I want to say shalom to the brothers and sisters that are in this truth. Shalom.
Shalom.
Above.
Kwam Yasharala.
Shalom.
Shalom, Akiyah. Yeah. Shalom, shalom.
Hey, shalom. Yahweh Shem Shai Brakatam. Shalom, brothers and sisters. Keep it up.
Hey, shalom, Akiyam. Fast as well, let's pray. We almost home.
Right.